Evening. Welcome to the November 4th regular meeting of the Village Board of Trustees. This meeting is now called to order. We'll begin with the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk.
Trustee Levin? Here. Trustee Quezada?
Present.
Trustee Codman?
Present.
And Mayor Garrity.
Present.
We will begin with mayor's and trustees' announcements.
Well, thank you very much. And I'll begin with a congratulations to our re-elected town clerk, Marion Roberts.
Thank you.
And to all of the candidates who were on the ballot yesterday. Ossining is very fortunate to have so many people who are looking to serve in public office in our community. And I also want to thank the more than 4,000 voters in the Ossining community who showed up at the polls yesterday to support the candidates of your choice in the village, town, and county elections. I look forward to continuing to serve on the board with Trustee Manuel Quesada. Congratulations on your reelection, as well as Trustee Rika Levin, who was in a contested election and did very well. And thank you very much for stepping up. We are pleased to have you with us for one more year of the second year of the term that you were elected to yesterday. And we look forward to soon welcoming Trustee-elect Quantel Bazemore, who was also elected yesterday. And congratulations to our colleagues in town government as well as county legislator Catherine Borgia. We look forward to continuing to have good relations with our friends in every level of government for the benefit of the Ossining Village community. More congratulations. The night before the election, we all got to celebrate the Employee of the Year. Thanks to the Rotary, we were able to honor Ms. Dale Ferreira, our Deputy Treasurer. She works for both the village and the town, so it was doubly special to be able to honor her Monday night. Dale is not only smart and a whiz with numbers, she is an incredibly dedicated and beloved employee. She has a depth of institutional knowledge that is an asset to us year-round, and most especially right now during budget season. And the only surprise about her being awarded Employee of the Year is that she hadn't already received this honor. So it was a pleasure to be with her Monday night, and I know that my colleagues join me in congratulating her, and brava to Dale Ferreira. Okay, it's budget season, which is my favorite time of the year. And it is it's an opportunity to spend time with our village manager, as well as our village treasurer, Tom Warren, and the aforementioned Employee of the Year, Dale Ferreira, as well as all of our department heads. This year, we have an especially exciting element to our budget. It was a suggestion by Treasurer Tom Warren that each department head provide a narrative for their budget for the year, which will provide us with additional information and transparency. So thank you very much for that suggestion, and with the support of Manager Zambrano, I am excited to be reading all of those. We just, hot off the press, received our budget. And I will let the manager give more details on that, but I'll tell you that our approach on the village board each year is to spend time talking with the department heads to understand their priorities for the coming year and how those align with our big picture goals for the village, as well as what challenges they anticipate for the coming year and any improvements or efficiencies that they are looking forward to implement for 2016. You want to know what a person or an institution really values, you just need to follow the money. About 3/4 of our village general fund budget goes to salaries and benefits for the employees that serve the village. Village government is about serving the public. And the work that is done by the more than 300 village employees, from the village manager and the board of trustees, the summer camp counselors and seasonal laborers, is all in an effort to serve the public the very best of our ability. During the budget process, I will be constantly asking myself the question, does this budget reflect and further our overall goals of an open, efficient government that best serves Ossining residents? So, open with that to my colleagues on the board. If anyone else has any comments or thoughts, announcements.
I don't. Just like to congratulate Trustee Levin for her victory last night, and I think that her election reaffirms our appointment of her and all the skills and talents that she'll bring to us for the next year. And I'm looking forward to working with her, obviously, through the budget process, but into next year as we move forward.
Thank you.
Move on to administrative reports, and we'll begin with Village Manager Abraham Zambrano.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Board of Trustees. First, I would like to congratulate Trustee Levin and Trustee Quesada for being reelected, and I would like to welcome and also congratulate Trustee-elect Bensmore, anticipating being able to work with him beginning in 2016. I will also like to congratulate Del Ferreira on being the 2015 Rotary of the Employee of the Year. I think I've known Dale for many years, and I think, as the mayor mentioned before, she's an outstanding individual and employee. So it was my pleasure, and I was very happy the fact that she was in fact selected as an Employee of the Year for the Rotary. I would also like to, before I get into the actual budget message, I'd like to thank the village treasurer, Tom Warren, and Del Ferreira for all the work that they've been doing the last several weeks in the number crunching. So it does make my job easier. So thank you, thank you, thank you. With that, if I may, I just a few minutes ago, I handed you the proposed budget as it was filed this afternoon with the village clerk. So in accordance with provisions of Article 5 of New York State Village Law and the Village Charter, I am pleased to present the Village Board with this tentative budget for your consideration and review. The proposed budget for 2016 has been filed with the Village Clerk's office. The total general fund budget is $34,342,409. $34,349,409, which requires $21,620,999 to be raised by taxes at a tax rate of 194.26 cents per 1,000 of assessed valuation. This proposed rate is $5.35 higher than the rate for 2015, which represents a 2.83% tax rate increase. The total appropriations decreased by $29,000, or 0.08% lower than that for fiscal year December 31st, 2015. Fiscal year 2016 will be the fifth year that the property tax levy legislation will be in effect. For the first 2 years, the legislation allowed the tax levy to be increased by 2%, but that percentage has been decreased to 0.73% for the year 2016, along with the growth factor, which was calculated by the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance. The maximum allowable tax levy amount for 2016 will be $21,697,613, an amount that is $76,614 higher than the proposed tax levy of this budget. The property tax levy legislation requires for fiscal years beginning 2015, municipalities must also take into account the recently enacted tax freeze law, which limits the tax levy growth, as previously stated, in addition to requiring municipalities to develop an efficiency plan that demonstrates savings efficiencies of at least 1% of the 2014 tax levy. The plan must be in effect for at least 3 years. However, the savings or efficiencies included in the plan must become effective subsequent to property tax levy effective subsequent to the property tax levy legislation effective date. On October the 14th, 2015, the village received confirmation from the Office of the State Comptroller that the government efficiency plan, which was jointly filed with the town, had been approved. As the new manager, I have been charged with the task of evaluating all areas of village government in order to continue to be able to meet the mandates of the tax levy cap and government efficiency legislation. In addition, to continuing to explore potential savings in energy, liability insurance, workers' compensation, and other employee benefits, I have also started the process of streamlining procedures and departmental efficiencies by consolidating management positions and administrative staff. Overall, departmental budgets requests were generally held flat or decrease as compared to 2015. However, there are several factors that have contributed to the decrease in appropriations. In addition to the restructuring of personnel in the manager's office, the position of downtown manager was abolished as the Downtown Development Fund Council takes a more active stance in the use of those funds. The current and projected lower costs of gasoline, diesel, and heating oil will realize a substantial amount of savings in 2016, as well as the small increases in employee contributions towards health benefits. Our auditors, O'Connor Davies LLP, have expressed that to the board that our financial condition is excellent. We have obtained an AA2 bond rating from Moody's Investor Services, which is outstanding for a community our size. With this budget and the overall financial health of the village, we're in a position to keep the village moving forward in the years ahead. With the board's support, we anticipate having another great year and continued financial health. We will include the budget on the village's website in order to make it more accessible to our residents. We will also have copies available at the village office for the public to view. In addition, we will also post the proposed budget summary pages at the kiosk in the Market Square. This year, we will also post links on the village's Facebook page and on the cable channel. All in all, the staff and I believe that this tentative budget will meet the needs of the village government for 2016. The 2016 public hearing, budget public hearing is scheduled to be held on Wednesday, November the 18th at 7:30 p.m. at the Berthold Fagan Police Court Facility located at 8688 Spring Street. The budget adoption is scheduled to take place at 7:30 p.m. before a regular meeting on December 2nd, 2016. And I will actually just add, I've also shared with the board an article that appeared in the New York State GFOA magazine from this month. And basically, the article goes into the really the purpose of the budget, but I will actually just read this one quote from the article, if I may. It, referring to the budget, is the most important document and information that the organization can provide to its citizens because it talks about the priorities, the money coming in, the money going out, the operation, and the organizational structure, the services being rendered. I think that's pretty much a summary of what the tentative budget and the budget that you will be adopting later this year really represents. And now I have actually one final announcement, if I may also. This came in from the Central Committee of Organized War Veterans. They will be, on behalf of the Central Committee of Organized Veterans of the town of Ossining, they're inviting the board and the public to join them on Wednesday, November the 11th, 2016, for a Community Veterans Day celebration, which will take place. There will be a 10 o'clock Mass at St. Augustine's Church. After Mass, there will be a drive down to Nelson Park, and there will be a ceremony at 11 o'clock in the morning at the park. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you.
Move on to Corporation Counsel, Lori Lee Dixon.
I'd like to speak to some items on your agenda after I've had a chance to actually congratulate Trustee Levin, who is now also Trustee-elect Levin. Congratulations. I look forward to continuing to work with you for the next year. And I also look forward to working with Mr. Bazemore. I've had an opportunity to speak with him, and he's a fine gentleman. He brings a wealth of experience and a lot of really good ideas. So I look forward to assisting him in policy making that the board will begin working on in 2016. I also want to thank the treasurer for his work and Dale's work. I work very closely with their office on a daily basis, and Dale is instrumental to my work in securing the outstanding taxes and the filing of tax liens, and she has the ability to extricate those pennies and dollars and cents from individuals who are recalcitrant in many ways. So it's resulted in successful years in being able to obtain down to the last penny on the list of the outstanding taxes. So I appreciate her in many ways, and I thank Tom for the opportunity to take a good look at the narrative this year. It was an interesting opportunity to put to paper what sort of swirls around in your head, and it was nice to be able to capture that and put it in paragraphs and bullet points and to make it concrete. So thank you, Thomas, for that suggestion, and I look forward to reading the rest of them from my fellow department chairs. So on your agenda this evening, as we had talked about in our special work session the last time you had your legislative session, we have to waive the uncollectible taxes which resulted from the auction of property at 94 State Street. We didn't, our proceeds, our proportional proceeds didn't cover the base taxes, so we have to declare them as uncollectible, and this is the second step. You did take a step at the time of the auction authorizing acceptance of a proportional amount, but now that we know that the base taxes won't be met, we have to take this step to actually waive them and remove them from the treasurer's records and the assessor's records. So that will be done as soon as you can pass this resolution. I also, we were asked by DPW to indicate that there would be a public hearing on the 18th of November for the sidewalk, driveway, apron, and curb assessments. This is a standard hearing, and I understand from DPW most, if not all, of the work was owner requested. So there are no surprises on the list. People who will be assessed for the curb and sidewalk work in front of their properties. We also have a tentative budget in front of us, and we can call for the public hearing on that November 18th as well. So we'll have two hearings on November 18th, one after the other. Two items on both continuations of existing IMAs. These are another examples of the collaborative efforts of our departments and also our municipalities and different agencies. One has to do with the Ossining Union Free School District. This is an extension of an IMA whereby they can partake of the fuel pumps, and so they don't have to install their own infrastructure. They share our fuel pumps with us, and just as a reminder, we did renegotiate that one the last time to include provision for them to participate at a percentage of any large capital expenditures in the area of the fuel pumps. So that was a nice change, and this is an extension of that same IMA. The other item came to my desk from the police department and is an extension of the Westchester County Police Mutual Aid and Rapid Response Plan. The last time we saw this, it was 5 years ago. This actually has come up and was just sent to us, even though it will have a renewal date of July 31st in 2015. So those were the items that came across the desk. Since they were simple renewals, we did put them on for action this evening. So thank you for taking them up. I appreciate it.
Move on to Police Chief Joseph Burton.
Good evening. Just to go on Corporation Council, the mutual aid, just to explain, I know the board knows about it, but just to the public, what the mutual aid is that the Westchester County Chiefs of Police Association got together many years ago and put a plan together to see how they can help each other out in any crisis that may happen in a municipality. They divide the county into 3 zones, and it's placed on population and amount of police officers and what the needs might be. And when Ossining needs help for whatever, we can go to different levels of the zone and get people in to help us, or if something happened any place, the whole county could respond to a certain area. And what this does is just covers everybody when they start moving around for financial and responsibility needs and that. Second thing is that this year I'm looking forward to the budget. Even though I prepared most of it with an incoming chief, I now become the expert in advising everybody and being a consultant as I sit back. So Lieutenant Sylvester will be presenting most of the budget, and I will be putting my elbow in his ribs every once in a while. Thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to that.
Separate you.
I'm not sure the lieutenant's looking forward to the elbow, but the participation generally.
Move on to organizational announcements. Chief?
Good evening. The Ossining Historical Society has a night at the museum, which is Friday, November 6th, this Friday night. And it will be assisted by the Ossining School District's students of AMD School. Start times for this walkthrough tour are 7, 7:30, 8, and 8:30. And what this consists of is that you come and hear Ossining's history as told by these students on different people that we had, fictional, non-fictional, in the village. The Drapers, Peter Falk, Henry Gordine, Sarah Jenks, Fanny Kay, the Leatherman, and Admiral John Warden. So they will be there in costume, and the students will be explaining what they are. Most of them will be explaining who they are, except for the Leatherman. He never talked. As I said, it begins at 7 o'clock, and there'll be different tours. Use the front door. It's a Halloween-type program for all ages. Rain or shine, no need to RSVP, and it's a $5 suggested donation. Thank you.
Ooh.
Are there any other organizational announcements? Move on to Village Board resolutions. Is there anyone that would like to address any or all of the resolutions? Okay, we'll move on to the adoption of the resolutions. Resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the minutes of the October 7th, 2015 regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the board? Madam Clerk?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated November 4th, 2015, in the amount of $423,392.89. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
On the board? Madam Clerk?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas on September 29th, 2014, the Village Board of Trustees authorized and directed the treasurer to accept from the town of Ossining, consistent with the past practice and course of conduct, as well as statutory authority, certain calculated and apportioned payments from proceeds of an auction duly conducted by the town to settle in full satisfaction of the total, all delinquent real property taxes, including any interest, penalties, and other charges for certain properties, including the property having the identification number 97.11 Block 1, Lot 84, and a street address of 94 State Street. And whereas the town, having now conducted the auction, duly authorized acceptance of the highest bid and executed a deed for the property dated August 19th, 2015, is prepared to provide the apportioned amount to the village, which, since said amount is less than the total amount having been due as of closing, necessitates a waiver by the village for the balance. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Ossining Board of Trustees hereby accepts from the town of Ossining the proportionate payment of $16,470.23 in full satisfaction of all amounts due and owing for real property taxes, including penalties and fees, for property located at 94 State Street, having designation of 97.11 Block 1, Lot 84, and waives the balance of base taxes having accrued as of August 19, 2015, and declares said base taxes as uncollectible. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
On the board? Madam Clerk?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby calls for a public hearing to take place at the Birdsall Fagan Police Court Facility, 8688 Spring Street in Ossining on November 18th at 7:30 p.m. in the matter of sidewalk, driveway apron, and curb assessments for 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the board? Madam Clerk?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby calls for a public hearing in the matter of the 2016 tentative budget to be held on Wednesday, November 18th, 2015, at the Birdsall Fagan Police Court Facility, 8688 Spring Street, at 7:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard. Do you have a motion?
Second.
On the board? Madam Clerk?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved that upon the recommendation of the fire chief, and I'm not sure how to pronounce either his first or his last name,
Gayo. Gayo Anayo.
Jai O'Neill of Austin, New York, was elected an active member of Senate Hook and Ladder Company Number 1 for interior firefighting at their regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the board. Madam Clerk?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Austin hereby authorizes continued participation by the Village of Austin Police Department in the Mutual Aid and Rapid Response Plan for the Police Departments of Westchester County, New York, which has the objective to formalize operational procedures for law enforcement assistance upon the occurrence of a condition which is beyond the scope of the requesting agency, and which plan is governed by and the liability and costs are apportioned pursuant to the provisions of New York State General Municipal Law Section 209M, and be it further resolved that subject to the review and approval by Corporation Council, the village manager of the Village of Austin is hereby authorized to execute an agreement with the County of Westchester, McCallion Office Building, 148 Martine Avenue, White Plains, New York, for a 5-year renewal of the plan commencing July 31st, 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the board. Madam Clerk?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved that the village manager of the Village of Austin is hereby authorized, in accordance with General Municipal Law Section 119-0, to execute an intermunicipal agreement with the Austin Union Free School District for use of the village's fuel dispensing system for the term to commence upon execution through June 30th, 2016, said IMA being subject to the review and approval by Corporation Council. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the board. Madam Clerk?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas the Village Board of Trustees adopted a resolution on January 7th, 2015, defining the parameters of the manager's benefit plan, and whereas the village manager has recently enacted certain staffing changes requiring a revision to the manager benefit plan at this time, therefore be it resolved that effective November 2nd, 2015, the title Secretary to the Village Manager is hereby added to the list of employees covered by the management benefit plan. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the board, I would just say, Sir Joe Saratani,
Yes.
the gentleman who's being referred to here by this title, and we got to welcome him to your office officially on Monday, and we look forward to being able to work with him very closely. And he is taking a class on Wednesday nights this semester,
Yes,
so he
Wednesdays and
won't be
Thursday
here.
nights, he's not available around the end of November.
Well, we look forward to seeing him on Wednesday nights as well as in the office. Thank you.
Be there Friday for the budget work session.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That completes your resolutions for this evening. Do we have any continuing business of the board?
We do not.
Do we have any new business of the board?
We do not.
Might we then entertain visitor recognition? Is there anyone who would like to address the board? Might I then ask for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
No executive session.
No executive session.
It's only 8 o'clock.
I'm disappointed. It's terrible.
Aye. She said all in favor.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Very much so. Quick, before we think of something. All right. Yeah, no. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to an exciting and full agenda next week at our work session, which will be unusual. It will be on a Tuesday, November 10th. As always, it will be as usual, it will be at Village Hall. It will be our only work session of the month because the following, what would normally be our last work session of the month is the night before Thanksgiving, and we thought it might be nice for everybody to go home and defrost their turkeys rather than have a work session. So please join us next Tuesday, because Wednesday is Veterans Day, so next Tuesday at 7:30 at Village Hall, 16 Croton Avenue. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.